All right, ladies and gents, it is Truth Will Set You Free, episode number 30, the big 30. We've got a great show for you guys today. Sorry for the delay. We apologize for starting a little bit late. We've got technology issues. Cash, our good friend, is having some issues with Comcast as we speak. And as I even look right now, Sean has disappeared from the back room somehow. So hopefully Sean will come back. Sean is our special guest of the show. We will get started shortly with Truth Will Set You Free. Again, we've got me, Anthony Michael Russo, hopefully Cash, Curtis, and then Sean on today's show. We're hoping maybe Suni will jump on. I kind of gave her last minute instructions. So we'll see. We're going to be riffing on this one. Gripping and riffing for episode number 30, Your Truth Will Set You Free. So go ahead and share this out there. We're going to talk a little bit of politics. We're going to talk a little bit about civility. Sean is back in the back room. Whew! I was terrified. I was like, we lost another one. Son of a biscuit. It's going to be an interesting show, guys. We're growing in audience right now. You can join on the Facebook page, the YouTube page, etc. Go ahead and let us know where you're from in the comment box. The more you comment, the more you hit like, the more people will see this in the algorithmic world. So do that for us, and we will get started. I'll start the countdown. I'll start the timer. We'll start the show in about 20 seconds. Truth Will Set You Free, episode number 30. Hello, everybody. It's Anthony Michael Russo with hashtag BeTheChange. Welcome to episode number 30. Sorry for the delay. Got a lot of technical issues tonight. We are figuring them out. I don't know. It's the first time we've got winter during COVID. A lot of people are home. They're bored. There's parts of the country that are locking themselves down, so they're probably just having to live on their internet, and they've got nothing else to do. A lot of gamers, probably very lonely, and they don't want to get caught watching pornography with their parents, so they're probably playing a lot of games. Was that too soon on that? Did I come in too hot?
Too hot.
Okay. All right, I'm going to introduce our cast, then we'll get the show started. We're still hoping Cash joins us. In the meantime, share this out there. We'll see also who's in the box before we get the show started. But I'm going to introduce the man, the myth, the legend. He wears sunglasses at night. He's held up in a room, and he still somehow cannot find good lighting. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Curtis Harkness. What's going on, Curtis?
I have good lighting, but you all are wearing sunglasses on your screens right now, so that's why.
No, not good lighting.
And also, it's not. Oh, okay, never mind. It is night. And yes, I was playing Gears 5, and I was not watching pornography. And we are not lonely gamers. Let me move my hands up so you can see. So just letting you know, don't do.
So what is that? Hands up, don't judge.
Don't be faking news in that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, probably that's why the internet is slow again. Luckily, I have pretty good internet, but yeah, I'm here just hanging out, chilling, staying safe. What about you, player?
I got my dog on my feet right now. He's like a personal foot warmer. It's fantastic. I don't know what it is about the office that I work in. He just decides, you know what? I'm going to go to sleep. So he can be the worst behaved dog on the planet, which we had puppers out at a farm this week, and he did not meld well with the two other dogs there. He wanted to just be their friends, and it did not go well. He's a little bit of a barker. He's got some problems. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
No, Jackie, we do not need the adult disclaimer again.
No, there's no adult content here.
Maybe. Now, Concert Ventures tomorrow night, that's going to be a different story. Again, that's only on YouTube. I'll tell you a little bit about that. First, we're going to introduce our guest. Some of you guys saw him on the Be the Change page the other day when we had our 15-minute chat that turned into an hour and 20 minutes. And I want to be very clear to our audience that everything that was said was in ultimate respect to Sean, because as you guys know, dealing with Cash or me when it comes to a discussion argument takes a brave soul to be a part of it. And not only was he a part of it, there's things I learned from the conversation, which I think there's some things to talk about. We'll talk briefly about that as well. And I want you to be kind, because that's what we are. We are kind to everyone. So let's be kind in the comments, even when we disagree. If it gets down to it and you disagree, you can say, I disagree because, but don't say anybody stupid. Don't say anything like that, because it's a waste of breath. Let's be better to each other. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sean Harrington.
Thank you very much, sir. I would be playing video games if my internet was better, but I will say that, hey, video games did get me through quarantine, the last one. If not for that, oh man, I had a good group of people to play with, and that outlet to socialize kept me alive, man.
Yes, and by video games, Sean means pornography. Okay, just to be very clear.
Really quick. This is like, I don't want to let Sean.
Can it be both?
Maybe.
I will say there's a word.
I look at rebuttals as well.
Uh-oh.
No, just to be clear, Curtis, as we realize, Sean does have about a 3-second delay, so we have to. We've played by this game before, so we just got to be ready to make sure that we give a little breath.
Got you. All right.
But as a liberal, technically, he's got about a 13-year delay. I'm kidding.
But I will say really quickly that word quarantine, I know I've used it before, but we're technically not in quarantine. So I don't know when we started saying it. Everybody's like, oh, we've been in quarantine. No, we haven't. You know,
I say COVID. I say during COVID, because I'm not. I mean, there's no quarantine.
I say quarantine, and I'm not attacking you, Sean. I know I've said it.
At least there was in Minnesota. You know, they're.
Go ahead.
Well, Minnesota, I thought, isn't it?
There was a full shutdown.
Yeah, there was, but it still is not. It still is not technically quarantine. Technically quarantine.
Isn't that like every winter in Minnesota y'all shut down because you can't do nothing? I don't know why y'all had the Super Bowl that year. That was horrible.
Are you kidding me? Minnesotans get outside.
They're nuts. Like, my buddy fixes his car during the middle of winter in Minnesota. I'm like, what are you doing? All right, let's go ahead and see who's in the comment box, and then we'll get the show started. Let's see, who do we got? We've got Jackie Miller. Hello, Melanie. Hello, Donna, Jade, Debbie, Jennifer, Darla. Hi from California. Don't California my Texas, please. Chris, best state ever, Texas. Jackie, Texas.
Wrong.
Jennifer, Washington State. Tammy, Donna, Jade. A whole bunch of comments. Happy 30th. Whose birthday is that? Happy 30th? I don't know who's it. Is it your birthday, Curtis? No.
February 7th, bro. Come on.
No.
Day completion.
All right. Billy
I'm
Bob
not that
Thompson.
young.
I love his name for himself on social media. Welcome. He's a good follower of the show. He also was talking some mad shit about Sean earlier. You going to deflect again, Sean? Sean's a good dude. I could not believe that we stayed on for an hour and 20 minutes and just had a straight up debate, and it was fantastic. I did talk more than he did. Granted, this is what I do for a living, and he stood his own. So, yeah. A whole lot of people. We're good with that. Let's go ahead and get the show started. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what is going on with Be the Change and Streetlights. Real quick, so Conservengers episode number 2 tomorrow night. The only way to watch that, and we need your help, the only way to watch Conservengers episode number 2 is, let me go ahead. That looks ugly. There we go. The only way to watch this tomorrow night is on our YouTube channel, because we go a little bit over the line. It's a little bit of comedy. Conservatives with comedy. We, of course, have Suni. We got Corey tomorrow night. We've got Blake. Cash, if he can get his internet working. And I will be on that show as well. So that when that says tonight, don't pay attention. It's actually tomorrow night. Let me go ahead and change that because that is confusing. Tomorrow night. So only place to watch that is on Be the Change USA. So Conservengers, God, I love that logo. They did a great job, whoever did that, for way little money. All right, Conservengers tomorrow, YouTube. Also, make sure that you follow our podcast right here, #BeTheChange.com/podcast. You can find them on all the different podcast networks. That's your place. That will support us as well for people that cannot support with any kind of financial means. Last but not least, I want to do the Patreon, and I'm going to put that along the bottom throughout the episode. If you guys want to support us, that's how you do it. I still will be having for all Patreons very soon. I was going to try to do it possibly tomorrow night, where I have a raffle type situation where everything is $5 to $8 essentially that I want to sell a whole bunch and get rid of a bunch of stuff. And that $5 is essentially covering shipping. So if you want to get Be The Change stuff and you don't want to pay full price on the website, come tomorrow for that. I will just make sure you're on the Patreon. It should be tomorrow. It should be soon. We'll make sure that you guys have an opportunity at that, and probably do that a couple times to get rid of all the different stuff that I have in my RV currently, which is taking up all the different wells. Is that it? Last but not least, we got the Patreon there. And then clothing. I am still doing the holiday sale. I left it up because I've been too busy. So cyber sale all through the rest of the week as well. #BeTheChange.com. Use the code. Make sure you use the code Cyber Monday at checkout. A lot of you guys have actually missed that, and just make sure you do that. Cyber Monday at checkout. There's already some discounted items, so you might be able to get 40 to 80% off. Holy God, that was a lot of BS. And now let's get started with the show. And as Nicole says, hit the like, share, and subscribe, please, on all areas, whether it is YouTube, Facebook, etc. I'll put another link up afterwards on how to make sure you're seeing our posts, Cash and us. Let's see, Cash said something. Oh, Cash might be jumping on, ladies and gents. You think he got his internet working? So, hold on. Let's keep chatting. Sean reminds me of Meathead from All the Family. I don't see that. Do you see that, Curtis?
I don't even know what that show is. I didn't have cable growing up, so
Well, that explains a lot. All right, let's get started. I'm going to bring you guys back real quick. It's time to have a quick. Actually, I'll leave you guys out. Why not?
Don't bring me back.
Let's have a quick chat. Let's talk about what we're going to talk about on this episode, and it's all about journalism. It's about truth in journalism. There's no integrity in journalism anymore. Period. There's not actually any news either. Today, for example, I got an article from CNN saying the Supreme Court has dealt a fatal blow by dismissing the Pennsylvania case. Then I have another conservative outlet talking about Texas' Supreme Court passing and how it's actually making its way to the courts and how huge that is. I can't find any definitive evidence of that on that side, nor can I find any collaborative or corroborating evidence to what that means as it being a fatal blow on the Pennsylvania side. I have a video that they were in Texas having a caucus regarding the actual potential election results. But there is no proof in any of the journalism that I've been reading, or any of the papers, or any of the magazines or online publications. I have an Epoch Times article, which is generally medium to far right publication, that has an article yesterday that says the inauguration committee failed to pass a resolution acknowledging Biden as president-elect, which would be a big deal because that inauguration committee is 3-3 Republican and Democrat. It's got people like Pelosi on it, which means there's probably a stalemate at 3-3. And they have not acknowledged Biden as president-elect, even though all the media still calls him president-elect. The other problem is there's not any media that's actually covering whether or not this is a real thing, except for the right side. You cannot find any middle ground, and it's 2020, and we have zero accountability and responsibility in journalism. We wonder why we are where we are in this country and how we're tearing ourselves apart. It's a lack of truth. Meanwhile, having way too much biased information and not good information. Let's be honest. The amount of proceedings, recorded testimony, and potential key evidence to this widespread fraud case has been overwhelming, but it doesn't get any airtime. Yet, Giuliani finally gets mainstream media to cover his 2 farts during his hearing. So this was on every news network, CNN, Fox News, etc., that he farted twice during a hearing. Yet, we've got no real news about what he's actually been talking about on mainstream media. We've got news going on, but it's albeit alleged eyewitness testimony, but we're getting coverage on farting. This is what our journalistic integrity has come to in the United States of America. How, as people that feed off knowledge and information, how the hell do we move forward and heal when it's almost impossible to find truth? And with all that we believe that our truth is, we believe that our truth is omnipotent. We believe that we are perfect because of the echo chambers we live. It is currently a situation, and it is scary. Now, With that said, what's not scary is being able to have a conversation and willingness to have that discussion. And with that, I commend Sean, who's on tonight's show. We've already introduced him. We can all learn from each other. And the key is listening and speaking to not change someone's mind, but to have an actual response with merit that over time could move us closer to center or back to the center. Back to a place of difference with understanding instead of this horrific mess that the media has created. Now, let's get started with Truth Will Set You Free. I think Sean's frozen right now. No, he blinked.
Can you hear me?
Yep, he's there. All right, so let's get the party started. Sean's got a topic that we want to cover. We're going to get to that second. First off, is farting a COVID symptom? Honestly, I was watching that, Melanie, and I was like, I kind of feel that. I was like, he looked a little rough.
Yo, diarrhea is a COVID symptom.
It is. It is.
Or if you eat dairy and you lactose intolerant. But anyway,
oh, that's so good. Let's first talk about having a conversation. I'm going to start with Curtis, and then we'll go over to Sean. Curtis, we started with episode number 3, really, and the whole importance was having a difficult conversation.
I just can't wait for the...
Go ahead. I love the delay. Well, I'm just gonna remove him and bring him back. Maybe he'll be better. We'll see. Curtis, talk about the importance in just having a conversation this day and age. What do you think?
I don't think people know how to have a conversation. Hold on, he's saying something. That's what happens right here, right? This conversation is people don't listen and delay it. This is just using Sean as an example. He's actually probably really good at having a conversation. But one thing I always said was, listen with intent to listen, not with an intent to respond. And that's usually talking to myself, because growing up with brothers and sisters, I don't know if whoever else had them, but I call myself the super middle child. I definitely was always ready to respond because I had to fight for attention or whatever else that at the time I thought I needed. And I thought I always had to be right. So a lot of times, and it has ruined some relationships, that I can't have a conversation because I have to be right. And I'm just trying to pick apart. And, going through it, you start to learn that you don't have a lot of friends, because who wants to just debate all day or have you pick them apart instead of just listening and understanding where they're coming from. And that's something that I believe that if we could do more of, it doesn't mean you have to believe it. It doesn't mean you have to 100% agree with it. I don't agree with a lot of things people say, and we have a lot of conversations. And what you start to see, I'm not trying to just find common ground. I'm like, let's just talk. And that's sometimes what I'm learning from even just being, with talking to the opposite sex, which is for men is tough, because we have different ways we think. Women think differently, but just being able to listen and understand instead of just trying to, say things. I didn't say you didn't, Janine. I just said the men. I was talking about the men. I can't talk about women.
Oh no, I'm going to say lies. I'm calling lies on that.
I didn't say they listened to with the intent to understand. Not they listen with the intent to respond. But I know I do too. But anyway, get back to the point, which that kind of is the point. That having a conversation now is pretty tough online, just because people can't hear tone and inflection, and people freak out if they see a period at the end of a sentence. Apparently, you don't do that in texting, or I don't understand it. But I usually send a follow-up message and say, hey, I'm not coming for you or such and such, so that can disarm people. But again, if people know me, then they don't feel that. But I feel like if people don't know me, or if somebody you don't know the other person, I feel like sometimes that conversation can be lost via text instead of just calling, or video chatting or something like that. If you know the person, if you don't, I would not call or just video chat any rando.
Sounds good. I like that. And Audra, I'm multi-talented. I clearly was not listening very well to Curtis though, but I was. Audra, it is fixed. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Cyber Monday code is back up and working, so you can use it now. Sorry about that. Sean, what you incited conversation. You said there's too many things for me to name, but I want to have a chat, and it was based off of the post that I had. So I know you're probably having trouble hearing, but we can hear you when you talk. Why is it important? Why is it important to have a conversation? Let's see if he answers.
It's like the news. Hi, Bob.
Maybe.
Hello, Sean.
Maybe not.
Like,
Bring him in and out.
What just Curtis just resonates so much with what, like, I grew up with a twin brother, always constantly talk, and that resonates so much. Look, you see kind of stories that people post, and just one-sided thing that says, I remember this, I remember, and we're going to remember this. And you take a bowl, so many things to that statement.
kick him out the studio. I can't hear you either.
Oh yeah. Now everything's going wrong. Okay. Gotta love this stuff. All right. So
let him come back.
Maybe we'll try it. Let's try it one more time. Sean. He's well.
Yeah, drop him and bring him back on.
He's gonna all of a sudden look really dark. Watch this.
Hilarious.
I just dropped off Sean because he was having technical issues, and I go, Sean's gonna look really dark when he comes back on.
Bro, all I can let you guys look at, Sean is cutting in and out. I'll bet you he got Comcast.
No, he's actually, I think he's using his phone. He was good, but he got throttled. We've had so many issues tonight, Cash. It's
horrible.
Yeah.
Comcast, I'm not gonna say they suck, but they're not as good as you told me they were.
I didn't say they were good. I just said get the best you can.
That's the best that I could have got in my area.
Well, I don't know. I never said there's none of them are good.
I mean, Comcast in my parents' house is nice.
Sean, Sean's still a blank black square. Dang it.
Hi, Curtis. How are you doing, my brother?
Okay,
I'm still waiting on that call.
Well, I got a new tooth, and I'm about to get another new tooth.
It's actually pronounced tooth. Tooth.
Whoa! I'm not from Dallas, Texas. Where you from, Anthony?
You getting some golds?
Nah, bro. I getting some real, you know what I'm saying, titanium. Actually, I go in tomorrow. God bless me with some extra roots. You know what I'm saying, and not the movie.
And I have mine pulled too.
Yeah, so I got to get it pulled and get another one in there. So, but this one on the other side, some other work had to be done. So, I tell everybody, brush your teeth and don't eat sugar.
Yes, definitely.
Chris put you to move out of the area, Cash. Sean, wait, hold on. Sean, are you clear?
I've heard you guys the entire time. I'm still connected. Can you guys hear me yet?
Yeah, you're actually perfect right now.
All right, let him go right now.
All right,
now.
So
go ahead and
all
talk
I was
about
going to say was everything that Curtis said resonated with me. Like, I grew up in a family of 5, and I was always ready to speak over everybody. You always get to push your word in edgewise. I have a twin, so constantly just arguing, debating. But it's always much better to talk about things, and instead of like constantly waiting just to get your word in and waiting for them to be done so you can talk about what you wanted to do. What I didn't like about that post was it was one of those things where it's like such a one-sided thing, and there's a reason for every single point. And instead of spending 30 minutes trying to text or on my phone on a Facebook post, it's much easier to have a conversation.
Agreed. And it would have been great. Like, there's a couple people that went, I would be willing to have you on and 7 other people that disagreed all at the same time. Bring Cash, to have the discussion. But honestly, you were the only one, and there was a couple really great points. Like Yoser had one, and there was another gentleman, I'm drawing a blank on his name right now, that legitimately came out and said something that was like, I understand where you're coming from, even though I disagree. So it's either that, I get it, and move on, or it's let's have a discussion. But all just the whole you're an idiot, you're this, you're the like it's daunting. And then let's just honestly, I have no problem talking to 10 people that disagree with me at the same time. I might learn something. Actually, not only do I not have a problem, I might learn something, and I do want to address that. And then I'll go back to you, Cash. I just want to make sure Sean got out what he was saying.
Go for it.
Well, I learned something about the border wall that I honestly did not quite comprehend or understand. You brought up a point, and I admit now, and I admitted in the follow-up post that I was not fully correct. You brought up.
Know.
What's that?
I want to know, what is it?
Yeah, so we talk about the hundreds of miles that Trump has built on the border wall, and he has, and that is accurate. And there is, again, it's reported differently from both sides of the media. Almost 300 miles of border wall are replacing previous miles of border wall. Now, if you look at it from the left, they report it as he hasn't done anything but anywhere from 5 to 30 miles of new border wall. Now, if you look at it from the right, those 300 miles, because it's even more than that, I think it's like 500, but the 300 that are replacing the border wall is replacing it in areas that literally were completely decrepit and broken down, and literally there was no wall there. It just used to be a wall. So ultimately, there's a smart way, and there's two different ways to look at it as usual. But ultimately, if there was already a wall there, that means that that's the most important. That was where they deemed most important from the get-go. But it's reported in two different ways. And honestly, I thought there was 300 miles almost of fresh wall, and it's not fully truth. It's not fully a lie either.
I would have said that. I would have said, no, they're reinforcing parts that were already like almost done, like deteriorated.
Yeah. So I learned something new. I love learning something new. And the bearded gentleman in the bottom left, he presented it for me.
My left or your left? I'm just kidding.
Thank 289 miles. Got it. Thank you. Yep. That is, and it's accurate. And honestly, I didn't quite know the truth on that one. And now I do, because you know what? The truth will set you free. Cash, what's up?
Did you talk to Shelly?
Not today.
Okay, so everybody, I'm asking you all please to put a prayer out for Shelly. She got COVID.
Oh, and she's got some other health conditions.
Yes, so say some prayers for Shelly.
All right.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
I'm just seeing it on my text right now. I gotta call him when we're done here.
If you can throw a prayer for my friend, a family friend of ours, he got COVID too, and he's in the hospital. So I tell people it's not fake. You know,
no, it's not fake. It's serious for me, for her, because of other things. If it would have been like, if I would have had COVID, I would be like, yo, I got COVID, but don't worry about it.
No, same here. He's got some other problems, so that's why he's in the hospital right away.
So pray for both of them people, you guys, if you could.
Yeah. I did not know that. Yeah, we'll connect with her after this. Oh, that's a bummer.
All right, so what's the topics? What are we talking about?
We're talking about why you're never on time. I'm just kidding.
Look, you know what? Today is like Murphy's Law, bro. After me and you talked, I was trying to make another live. I was trying to go live again, and it wasn't working. So I'm like, maybe it's just, something going on. Then again, the power did go on and off over here because of the wind, and it's really cold. So I'm like, all right, maybe it was just that. Reset the modem. Nothing happened. And then we called. When we called,
they're trying to mute your trumpet.
Look, bro, all I'm gonna say is this: is when you got people that got American services, I would like to talk to somebody in America. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
Only company I know that does that is Discover. Literally, I'll be 100% honest.
Nope. 24-hour tech support. Ain't nobody out here 24 hours in America. You already know. If it's closing hours, you're getting directed to India.
Discover gives me, unless they got really good access, Discover is straight regular in America.
It ain't right.
Their car's not great, but I'm joking. But yeah.
Shelly's at home. No, she's not in the hospital. Shelly is at home. She's chilling. She's got to quarantine for a little bit. I think she's fine, but keep her in your prayers.
That's good to know.
Yep. I just got the weirdest, longest message. All right. So here's what we're talking about. And I don't know. It looks like Sean is still on time with us in terms of his speaking. So I said, you come on. You came on with me for an hour and 20 minutes. Let's talk. What do you want to talk about? So he wants to talk a little bit about court packing. So I'll let you open up the conversation, Sean, and discuss your issues with the current system that we have in our courts.
Well, first off, you see like the Supreme Court nominations. You have Trump nominating 2 nominees in this last year and a half or so. Not only going back, you have I forget if it's Merrick Garland or it was I think it was after Scalia's death. He had bipartisan support but he was completely shut down by Mitch McConnell. And, he called that one of his best things of his career was making sure that Obama could not appoint somebody to the Supreme Court. You have multiple times, the last few administrations, Republican administrations have filled multiple seats. And you have about 4 out of the 9 justices filled by presidents who lost by the popular vote. Aside from the Supreme Court, you also have courts going down to lower districts all across the nation that were basically blocked for the last 2 years of Obama's administration by McConnell and company. And as soon as Trump was elected, they went and rushed as many conservative judges they could across this nation. Don't quote me on numbers, but I believe it's somewhere between 50 and 200 nominations within a very little time, between about a year. So the courts have now become an area where they have become the policymakers, maybe not makers, but changers, maybe repealing policy that has been put into place. So you have a system that our Senate and Congress has not really done any kind of meaningful actions or legislations in the last decade. And the courts are actually doing more in this sense. And it has become such a political issue when it really shouldn't be at all. It should be completely non-partisan, and our courts should be able to uphold our law. And now they're actually changing law. It's an unfortunate thing, and I really would like to see the courts not to be such a partisan issue.
All right, lot to take in on there. Does anybody else want to go first?
Nope.
Okay.
I'll say I did see that with Sean, with President Obama. But one thing I did see that was kind of crazy, that they spun it around and said that Obama left 200 or something, a lot of seats open. And at first I was like, see, yeah, and then I went back and looked and I was like, oh, hold on. They have to be approved by the Senate. And then I was like, oh, hold on. That's what it was. And then I watched the documentary about Mitch McConnell, and I got to give, that guy is a beast at politics, and he knows exactly what he wants.
I'm learning that.
He wants. And so that's what a lot of people say, career politicians, you got to look at the Senate, because those guys have a lot of power, and a lot of power even to pass the president. And that's something that a lot of people don't realize. And, a lot of times we trumpet things at presidents, that what they get done and not get done. Like, I know Trump has been blocked on certain things. Obama's been blocked on certain things by the Senate, by the House or whoever. And so a lot of times I like to say, look deeper, because I learned that. I thought Obama really left a bunch of seats open, but they sent people there, even apparently Republican ones, but just out of not wanting the president to make that happen, they denied it. And then all of a sudden you get it done in less than 2 years. And I'm not taking anything away from the Trump administration for filling those, but at the same time, I do realize that President Obama did put up people for those. They just got shut down by the Senate. So thank you, Sean. That was something that was very, very, very eye-opening, of like, wow, we bring that up a lot, but we don't want the Democrats to pack the court. But Mitch McConnell did that, and the Senate has done that. So just, that's always something I tell people, to really look deeper, because on both sides of the, if I was watching Fox News and they said he left it open, I didn't look deeper, and I have to look deeper, because CNN again will say something else is opposite. And like Anthony was saying, you got to look deeper, because sometimes you can't even get, watching both, you can't even get the actual truth from both of those media outlets.
Yeah, and we were talking about this earlier. I mean, it's the issue with politics, but they're technically playing by the rules with McConnell. McConnell, it's funny, I've always disliked McConnell, but now knowing that we might be in a place where the Senate, and it could be a full blue everything, it's kind of nice to have somebody that is a bulldog and actually knows how to at least stick up for the conservative side. Because again, I think, to me, for my personal values, I think we're a little bit at risk. Now, what's interesting is when it comes to the fact that they blocked Obama from his nominations, that's actually not blocking, that's speaking for the public, the voters. The voters picked Republicans to be filling the positions that made it impossible for them to put through, and then they won. So it's unfortunate for the people that feel differently, but that is the system that we are in. That is the United States of America, and that actually goes very, very by the Constitution. Go ahead, Sean. I'll go back to some of the other stuff you said, but go ahead.
That sounds a little bit hypocritical, though. I mean, like, it's the same kind of thing that where they blocked Obama's nomination 256 days before an election year, or an election, and then they go ahead and do the same, the opposite, and they don't follow their own rules with Amy Barron Cohen.
No, that they exactly.
They go ahead and just put her through what 30 days before.
No, they exactly followed their rules. So that is the power of it. If you have the numbers in the House and the Senate, you can, or in Congress, if you've got the numbers to pass, then you get it done because you are speaking for the people based on the rules of our laws.
Not the rules, and I mean to cut you off. Not the actual what they said. What they said and what they did were two totally different things. Because legally, I agreed that they had the right to do that, but they also Obama had the right to actually put somebody through that was a bipartisan support. But they just said no 256 days out of an election. And again, I'm not saying I don't know if that guy was the best guy or whatever for the job, but saying that we should let the voters after they vote to see, then you don't turn around and don't do that just because technically you still have the right to do it, which they still had the right then to do the job. Then I just look at it like, yeah, you technically did it, but technically that's not what you said. And we've all had parents do that to us before, like, oh, I didn't say you couldn't have it. I just said maybe. And you're like, but hold on, you gave me hope, but that's just a very simple. But
you guys are literally breaking apart the Constitution. The Constitution, they did exactly what is of the rule of the Constitution. They weren't rushing it in.
I didn't say that. I'm saying they said one thing, and this is why we're not doing it. And then they did it literally closer to the election, and they said we're going to let the American people speak at election day. And then you don't let the American people speak at election day, which we're still.
Oh, I understand what you're saying. Oh, yeah.
That's all legal right. The Constitution.
Oh, no, I get it. No, here's the problem with politicians, and we all know this. They're all full of shit. So plain and simple, because, sorry, I have you. My bad. Go ahead and say it, Cash. Hey, Cash.
Facts.
So here's the issue. Now I understand what you're saying. Fact is, whoever is in power, whatever they want to do is constitutionally correct. Now, it's the way they talk out of their ass is what's wrong. So let's look at Biden, for example. Hold on one more time. Get it?
Facts. Just got myself muted.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So, I need that as a sound bite.
Yeah.
Exactly like that. Like facts.
Facts.
Yes.
So here's the thing. Biden, 30 years ago, was seen on camera going, in no way in the election year should a president ever be able to nominate a Supreme Court justice. And then bam, in 2016, Obama's doing it. So it literally is whoever is not in power complains about, and it's not even the party. It's the same people. It is the exact same people that are like against it, for it, against it, for it. So fact is, what we should have learned out of this last election cycle is they're going to do it. If they have the power, they're going to do it. And if they don't have the power, they're going to block it. Say that again, Sean.
Oh, man.
Dang, Sean. You were doing good for a bit.
Yeah, drop off and come back on.
All right, I'm back.
Biden last time.
My bad,
classic
guys.
80s Republican.
Handling business for this DC trip.
You did call Sean did call Biden an 80s Republican, which is why I think it's absolutely like that's the worst era. Well, that's not a lie because that's kind of
that was during Reagan. I thought a lot of people like that.
I like Reagan. Yeah, I think we're saying he's an 80s Republican senator, which is a little bit more damning. But yeah, I'm a Reagan fan. That's just me. Anyways, Cash, what's going on, brother?
Nothing. I was reading the comments said we did not want hillbilly or bummer.
Republicans are closer to senator.
Who's hillbilly?
I don't know.
What you got against hillbillies? You know, I'm half a hillbilly.
I'm from
all my family's from West Virginia.
Georgia,
redneck hillbillies.
Down south.
I'm just kidding. No, but
I'll
DC,
drink with a hillbilly.
DC.
So just so you know, Cash, we've got a little delay on Sean, so that's why we have like 3 seconds where we don't know. We've got a little issue, and he's drinking.
It's okay.
Speaking of DC, Cash, we didn't get to check in with you, so go ahead and tell us what they won.
What the what? What?
Talk about DC.
Oh, yeah.
Up on the screen.
So check this out. We're doing a march. All right. We're going to have an event. We're going to have a rally. We're all going to be up there speaking. Hodge Swins, Alex Jones, Jonathan Gillian, Greg Hughes, Eric Motsos, Kerry Robinson, Dave and Casey Lipsky, which they're dope. I love them. I can't wait to meet them. James Sullivan, who's also very dope. Can't wait to meet him. Alex Stovall, can't wait to meet him. I can't wait to meet any of these people, but there's more. This is just they only sent you a couple of the flyers. There's a bunch of flyers, man, because there's that many people coming. I also just got to set up for Kid Cunningham. He's going to be there. That's the dude to be with MAGA Hawk, but he's always the one speaking. He's awesome, bro. He's dope. So he's coming. Suni was going to be able to come, but it's too short notice for her. So she ain't going to be able to make it, but she will be at the next one. I guess we're setting up a whole tour. And so Russo, you'll be at the next one.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, you'll be at the next one.
Got to bring in white chocolate. Come on.
Of course, you already know, bro. Got to bring the white chocolate. But yeah, it's happening.
Cash, where did they find that picture? Was that in your yearbook shot for the?
No, man, that's actually from my music video.
I was gonna say that's like that's like if there was Latin King trading cards. That would be that.
You got jokes. That's funny. Yeah. That's funny. You hear what he just said?
Oh my gosh!
Starting at gangbanger position
Yo,
shortstop.
they got that from my first YouTube, man. When I shut up, fool. That was when I was actually in my music video. That's a straight picture from my music video.
That's a music video picture.
Yeah.
So you know how we all know Cash has changed, and the first thing is if somebody would have done what I just did to him, he probably would have rolled up on my house.
Nah, I just would have clowned you a little bit, talk some crap, but I'm not trying to be that person no more.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I'll be able to change, but I'm not going to be the same as I was yesterday.
Try not to be which person? That person?
Shut up.
I mean, he did. He was clean though. He had them edges right, bro.
Man, let me tell you, y'all. Hey, you want to see some real pictures? I'll show you some real pictures. You'll be like, oh no, that one you actually look like a college student. And the other pictures, you'll be like, oh no. You know what? If I would have saw you walking down the street, sir, I would have told my wife, let's cross. And hide her purse.
I would have dabbed you up, but like, what's up, player?
No, you probably would have. You probably would have, depending. If you would have had your hat like one way or the other, I would have been like, bro, you better stay over there.
My mom didn't let me wear hats like that, so you would see my ugly hairline, and you probably would have been like, bro, fix that.
No, you know what's messed up, bro? This is messed up. But because I was in a Latin gang, right? I grew up with nothing but Latins around me, a couple black people that was in the neighborhood like me, but they were all, peoples. They was all underneath the five, right? So I didn't like to be on BS with black people that was folks. So my family was folks. So when they would come to the neighborhood, I'd be like, yo, y'all leave my family alone, bro. Don't be saying nothing to my family. They cool. So they will be able to come over. But let me see a Latin gangster. Let me see some Latin folks. And I'm the first one like, yo, we got to go get them. You know what I'm saying? And it was like a reverse racism. Like, dude, you're black and you're in a Latin gang. Why are you doing this? What is the point of this? You need to stop. Your head's messed up.
You've been breaking barriers since before you knew you were breaking
I'm trying to tell you, bridging gaps and breaking barriers. Like, look, they're the enemy, but they look like me, so you can't just beat them up because they're black. How you think that makes me feel, Latin people in my gang?
Well, my dad
racist stuff and everything. I had to sit there and take it. Like, okay, yeah.
What pose were you doing when you would sit there and take it? Was it something like this?
He's got jokes. I was
gonna say my dad used to take the guys that were like, thuggish type, some in gangs. We would take them fishing, and he would take them to the where alligators at, and every single one would not be gangster when an alligator roll up next to your boat and rock the boat. It's like, Mr. Harkness, Mr. Harkness, we need to go. Mr. Harkness, we need to go. And my dad was like, calm down, bro. You big, man.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. The diversity that is Cashley Kelly, because I'm half white, right? Go to West Virginia every year. I'll be going to West Virginia to visit my papa, my aunt Trish, and all of them, my aunt Dreamer, my cousin Timmy, and they were some country dudes, bro. Me and my cousin Timmy, we would go out and sit at the lake, man, right in the mountains, and we would fish from like midnight to like 4 a.m.
That's a good time.
We'd see a big old gar. We'd see like all types of stuff. It was like no fear of nothing like that. But one thing, if you really want to see me act like I'm not a gangster at all and see me see like the biggest sissy in the world, put a spot in me.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. You keep that. I kill it.
But any blood money that I don't recognize is it, and I grew up with roaches. And if I see a roach today and it crawl on me, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And I will scream, bro. I will scream. So yeah.
I love we have Sean just hanging out. Unfortunately, he's a little glitchy today. Oh wait, no, I think he's on. I think you're moving real time now.
He's just like, this guy.
Sean killed him with his beard.
This is.
I'm still here. I'm just being quiet as possible because of my delay.
Well, you're not delayed right now. What's crazy is typically it's a conservative.
And I can hear all of you guys. I'm still here and digesting all of that.
Your internet.
I'm self-muting, making sure that the internet connection is.
He's so
got it. Tonight, this is one of those nights. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. What else are we talking about? We talked a little bit about court packing, and I kind of want to finish that topic because, first off, Sean mentioned that the Supreme Court's role has become more policy making or getting rid of laws. That the actual role of the Supreme Court is actually to essentially. They're not to approve laws and they're not to approve changes, but they're actually they're to actually take away laws. That's kind of their thing. It's to, essentially you're explaining what the role of the Supreme Court is supposed to be, Sean, and that's not really wrong. Based on the Constitution, that's what it is. They're not policy makers, but they are policy changers. That's the way it's always been. Technically, it's been a partisan issue all the way back to Roe versus Wade. That is not necessarily a constitutional issue that was changed to actually fit the mold of a political or partisan group. We often have conservative judges that dissent from the conservative opinion. Now it is weighing a little bit heavier on the Supreme Court for it to be more conservative. But if you look at the way people have been put across the country, there was a lot of vacancies. There had been a lot of people blocking them, and Trump got a lot of people in. And fact is, that is just the way our government works. So until that policy is changed, which again, I will agree that our governmental system is broken. And I'm going to, trust me, the two of us between Cash and I and a little bit of Curtis, because he's a half conservative, are going to be feeling some hurt in the next 2 years if it is a fully blue everything, because they are going to get to do exactly what they want to do the whole way across. So
that ain't happening though.
Well, I will say it was like that about 6 years ago.
Well, what's wrong with that?
It was like that under Obama.
And everybody made it through. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying, we'll be happy, not happy. I'm just saying as much as people are like, oh my God, just realize you lived through that already. And then it went the other way, which everything that people thought was going to happen didn't fully happen during that time. And then we have these next 2 years that they're blocking Trump, trying to help Trump, blocking Trump. They're normal politics. And now we're going to a new era. It happens, I think, almost every single time where it's going to be 2 years of somebody. And then if it's not good enough, people, they vote them out. And then you vote to who you really want. Now, one thing I will say is Vice President Biden or President-elect Biden, whichever you want to call it, trying to be neutral as possible.
No, not fair. You can't do that, Curtis. You cannot do that.
I can't be neutral.
President-elect, yet say projected president-elect. This is how they say projected underneath YouTube. Projected.
Okay. The projected. I'm on Facebook. The banners. The projected president-elect that works for everybody is more conservative actually than what the actual progressives want, and they're actually mad at him as I'm looking at it. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of funny because he is not picking the people that they thought he would pick. And I'm sitting back and watching because he's still got, they're still looking at him.
Biden is not conservative. Biden was conservative. Biden doesn't know where the hell he is anymore. Let's be totally honest.
There's no way he ain't nothing conservative about him.
He ran out. I saw him running. I don't know how he running. I was like, bro, you running. Not running, jogging. Let's just say that he was jogging really like he was trying to show off, like I'm there. I'm like, I want to put both of them, put them on a track and say, okay, Trump, okay, Biden, whoever
Trump will run miles on that brother, man.
Whoever, I don't know, bro.
I don't think either of them are running miles, but I think Trump could win in a fight.
I didn't say fight. No fight. Just run 100 meters.
You know why?
I think Biden got Trump on that.
I run up on Biden.
Biden got Trump. Biden got Trump in a race. Trump might have Biden in a fight.
You got, but here's the deal: if Trump and Biden were to run a mile against each other, we would then have either Kamala or Pence, because both those mother effers would be dead.
Remember,
so to Melanie's
remember,
point, yeah.
Trump had COVID though, so he might not have the lung capacity.
No, he's
bro. He got this.
He's indestructible. But they would both be dead at a mile.
He's also got the president healthcare plan.
Yeah, that's
he
true.
was running. He was running with the boot on. He just got an ankle bracelet.
I haven't seen him with the boot on.
He's apparently playing with his dog, which a lot of people do. Anthony gets beat by his dog.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All the time.
All right, guys.
All the time.
3 points.
Got an ankle bracelet on.
Sean's got 3 points. Let me get back. Sean, hold on. Let me finish my last thing real quick based on what you said. And again, I want to specify their job is to how did they phrase it? Son of a bitch. Well, I got distracted. Interpreting the Constitution. So they're interpreting in that way. And then Sean, again, you said the point, why is it bad if it's all blue? Well, it's not bad, but
good.
It goes against everything that I believe in. Just like if it was all red, it goes against what you believe in. But I know that I have to sit with that. It's not like they're breaking the law or doing anything wrong. If they won fair and square across the board, they get to make laws. All right, do your 3 points, Sean. Sorry, I know we're working with the delay.
All right, so if they're making those laws, I feel like that right side is, it's very religious, and I don't think that has any place in our politics. Your religion is your religion. That has a place in your religion. It doesn't have a place in what we do with laws. So what's wrong with a Democrat packing the courts? It's going to basically make sure that people have more social securities or safety nets for everybody. Two, I have a question for you guys. What about the idea of expanding the Supreme Court? So now it has been packed towards a conservative side. There's nothing to say that a president can't all of a sudden make it 13 judge of skew that, and then the next administration can go ahead and try to balance that back out. And then 3, even the last edition they have, Amy Coney Barrett. How much experience does she have as a judge? I mean, she has a lot of experience as a teacher, but how much experience does she have in the field of being a judge? And
can I take this?
Much. I don't think she's had.
She got a lot of experience. She was the one that was
of being a judge. So that was a very cool appointment.
I'm going to disagree, but Cash, go ahead and go on that one on Amy. I'll cover the second one if I can remember what it was, but Cash, go ahead.
She was actually the lawyer for Bush versus Gore.
He said judge. As a judge.
As a lawyer, not a judge.
You have to know law. When you're a judge, you have to know law and you have to know the Constitution. And when you're looking at the Supreme Court, what they do is interpret Constitution, is understand exactly what it means and how it's going to affect whatever case it is that they bring before them. So what does the Constitution say at the end of the day is what they're looking at. Is this American or is it not American? And then they look at all the different court cases that have been before them. So it's like they have a whole blueprint already. You know what I'm saying? So with her, she already understands law for a damn fact. She understands law. That woman is highly intelligent, very intelligent. I had no doubt in my mind that she's going to be one of the best Supreme Court judges that we've seen. You know what I'm saying? And I don't question her at all. I think that she's amazing. The way that she handled herself when they were questioning her, especially when they were attacking her, trying to, catch her up. She didn't even have a notepad, bro. She was going in. She is amazing. She knows her stuff. She wouldn't have got it this far. She wouldn't have been the nominee if she hadn't been as intelligent as she is or know what she knows. She was verbatim speaking things back to people. You know what I'm saying? Remembering. And that's what it takes.
The nomination could be.
Go ahead.
Be very political, though.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is
off the board, though. That's for everybody.
The Supreme Court has become. I mean, what do you expect him to do? Go against the wishes of his constituents and just find a random liberal? The great thing about Amy is that she fits a lot of bills. She fits the bills that want a conservative judge that does have a strong side of religious freedom. She is somebody that fits a conservative side in terms of some of her beliefs in terms of the way the government should be ran on that. She also has never really spoken out against Roe versus Wade, so she should have been a little bit more middle ground. She had some issues where she fought cases against certain abortion levels, but it wasn't. She has never been she has never made a public spectacle of a issue that would make her not fit to be justice. She also is a protege of Antonin Scalia, which is exactly who they wanted to replace. So she is a female that fits that role, that also replaces somebody that was highly esteemed on the courts. And she spent 3 years on the Seventh Circuit, 3 or 4 years. And she's very young, which means she would have a long tenure as a Supreme Court justice. And she did. She's got education. She's been in the education system. She was a teacher. So she knows the laws better than anybody. And ultimately, it's not about how long you've done something. That's what we learn about politics. We see some senators and congressmen that suck ass at their job. She just flat out is amazing at it. She's educated in it. And she lived her whole life as a bipartisan member of this country, even though that she is technically a conservative. But the way she's judged, the way she's been a justice, and the way she's been a lawyer has been incredibly open-minded. So I think that's why she was a perfect example. What was your
Go ahead. That's the thing. That's the thing that everybody got to remember, too.
I may recede my statement on that because it's always nice to have teachers.
I didn't hear anything you said.
Say that one more time, Sean. Go ahead. 3, 2, 1.
I may recede retract my statement on that because it is always.
I hate when they're retracting the statement and we want to hear it.
But the thing I was going to say was with any Supreme Court judges, man, it's not the thing that they have to do, and this is what makes a good judge, is that you keep your feelings out of it. You keep your personal beliefs out of it, and you go just off the beliefs of the founding fathers that wrote the Constitution. It's about American values at the end of the day, American law, the way that America is supposed to run. And when you can just separate yourself and your beliefs from that and then go in and attack whatever the issue is or whatever the case is and then be American about it. It's not about being fair or being right or wrong. It's about being American about it. What's the American thing to do here? What's the right way to handle this as an American? That's what it's supposed to be. And I feel like she's going to do a fantastic job of that. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Ruth Bader Ginsburg,
yeah,
she was a liberal. I don't know much about her except I guess she made a couple little bad comments before, but I guess she was a really good person. From what I heard, a lot of stuff that I read about her, she was a really, really good person. Sure. And when it comes to like and that's the thing I was gonna say, man. When it comes to like the left, because people will call her a leftist judge, but I don't see her as being that. And they use the thing of abortion because of her stance on abortion that they feel that way about it. From what I gathered so far, maybe there's more, but you can't think that abortion is un-American, or because I don't agree with abortion because of my personal beliefs and my religious beliefs, right? But I understand that if a woman is dying back in the day, you know, because she's about to give birth to a baby that's got some kind of defects, and they want to save her life, that the baby is either between the baby and her, then you know the parents make the decision to be like, yo, I want my life,
baby,
or I want my wife. I understand that. I get that. You know what I'm saying? And that's American. That's why that was even brought up in the first place, is because women were dying. You know what I'm saying? So I understand the medical part of it, but RBG and Amy, they're both, I feel like they're both good. Well, she was a good judge, and she's going to be a good judge. And it's because they both look at American values. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sean.
RBG progressed a lot of women's ideals in in her role. She was a great lawyer, excellent lawyer. She made a point of actually arguing points towards sexual discrimination, towards the point where it would be like, you can't do this to a man, right? like, no, you can't do that. And she's like, well, yeah, you shouldn't do it to a woman either then. You know, and like she'd bring up so many arguments, so well read, and she had every book, just like you said, Amy, didn't progressed so many ideals and changed a lot of structure in this nation towards women's rights. And kudos to her. That's awesome. You know, like we need that kind of stuff. But I think it was Priscilla Shafley. I was talking to Anthony earlier about. She actually was a big point of adding those kind of culture wars that you added to the platform. She wanted to make sure that abortion was a big thing, whereas before in the 50s, evangelicals didn't really care about abortion. That wasn't a big topic to them. You know, of course, there's few far side of each side, but like as a religion, they didn't. It wasn't an issue until it became a political issue, and then they started adding more and more and making these culture wars to make sure that people would get up in arms about it. Transgenders in transgender bathrooms, or transgenders in bathrooms, or men's in a female bathroom, gay marriage, like all these things that they added to the platform to move it, that marker towards the right. It was awful because those kind of things were like a non-issue beforehand, and now it is.
Yeah, but that's a misinterpretation. So hold on, I think that's a misinterpretation on your end. A lot of those things were not an issue because they were never presented, and then once they were presented, it's not that they were moving them right by making them or moving them left. Even they were deciding whether or not it was constitutionally protected. I actually think in those cases the Supreme Court justices did their job. They deemed what they felt was right, what was wrong, and then in some cases they got rid of policy.
But at that time, those Supreme Court justices actually said it wasn't a big deal. And all of a sudden, a platform emerged that grew a bunch of people that said it was, and they hounded their officials, kind of like what we talked about with Maxine Waters' comment last time, where that people start, going up in arms and saying, we want you to do this, and before it wasn't an issue, and now.
Well, he's talking about
the
liberal issues that have been faced by the court. They started out as not a big deal, and then when they said it wasn't a big deal, it became a big deal. Ultimately, when it comes to the Supreme Court, for the most part, they're doing their job. But here's the deal. Let's talk about court. I want to go over your court packing comment, and then we're going to wrap up about a little bit about what's going on in
Can I just say one quick thing about the transgender stuff?
Yeah.
I feel like with that, it was not a whole multitude of people fighting for transgender rights. People were fighting for gay rights, or for homosexuals to be treated fairly and not discriminated against, whereas black people were being discriminated against. But I disagree with the fighting for, like, if a man wants to dress up as a woman and then go into a job where they're supposed to look presentable, but you got on high heels and your legs are hairy and you smell like a man. And you can't do your job, because you're distracting people, or people are looking at you funny because of the way that you appear, because you're wearing these shorts that show something that shouldn't be shown to people in public, or you want to use the bathroom because you're a man that dresses like a woman, but you feel like a woman, so it's okay. I don't agree with that. I think that's not a real issue. The real issue is people being discriminated against that go to the military and they like men, but they are manly themselves, you know what I'm saying? Or they're not manly, maybe they're a little feminine or whatever, but they dress like a man and they act like a man. They don't, there's nothing different about them or us except that they like the opposite sex. That that is a problem. Or people being discriminated against that are homosexuals that can't find work because people know that they're homosexuals. I disagree with that. I don't think the world should be like that. If whoever somebody wants to love, that's what you love, that's what you do. But I disagree with a man that wants to walk around like how Candy did back in the hood when I was like 8 years old, and I could see his balls and his junk hanging out of his Daisy Dukes. You know what I'm saying? I got a problem with that. I don't think that should be a thing, and that's my stance on it. So that shouldn't even be equated to it. Like, the transgender thing should be kept out of gay rights. That's how I feel.
Transgender is not trans and I don't want to. There's a lot of ways you can mess it up. I don't want to say the wrong thing because people's, respectful. But I look at it as you look at the most prominent one, which is what's Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner, and going through surgery, dresses respectfully, and people still treat them with disrespect. That's the side where I look at it and go, well, people are dressing.
I feel like South Park nailed that in their head though, because it's not about her being transgendered; it's about her being an asshole.
Exactly.
That's true. Now that's different. I'm not saying your person.
I think Caitlyn Jenner has been treated incredibly. She got Woman of the Year, even though she still had junk. Like, so here's my issue with, and this goes back to the courts, is they ruled in a lot of ways, in my opinion, correctly, based on the way I view the Constitution, and it's the way I view transgenders and gays. First off, gay rights and transgender rights to me are two completely different topics.
Exactly.
Like
that's how I feel.
It's very, very different. At the same time, if there is somebody transgender next to me that is getting bullied or getting treated poorly, I will have their back in an instant. Now, do I think that they should have rights that don't make sense based on science, based on, I feel like I should use the men's bathroom or the woman's bathroom? No, that's a stretch. Now, if you look enough like a woman, then you use the bathroom. I mean, if nobody's going to know, but when people know and don't know.
I will say this. When I lived in France, I walked into the bathroom. There was women in there. I thought I was in the wrong bathroom. My friend goes, "No, bro, it's bathroom. You just use it and get out." So that's one thing that at first I was kind of like, I keep men and women. And then there was I'll be honest, I was a little selfish. And I was like, I would like to keep it men and women because my line usually moves faster. And I'm sorry, women, but that's a selfish man thought. But at the same time, when I was in France, it was a non-issue, and people just went in the bathroom and left. There was doors on the door; you could use the bathroom. But now there's even more single bathrooms.
I mean, hell, sexual abuse.
Go ahead, Sean.
Doesn't happen from like strangers. It happens more from statistically happens more from a family member, like an uncle or something like that. So
it's true.
I don't know why this fear that was given to you that said that we can't have men who became a woman go into a bathroom because my daughter is going to get molested by this person. It's just a fear that was handed to you. It's just like McCarthyism and communism, where they just anything that we wanted to give to people was socialism. We can't have that. That's communism. There we go.
It's not just that though. It's the thought of with cell phones, pictures being online, taking pictures and selling them, or kidnapping a kid, or sick-minded people that just like serial killers. You don't know if your kid goes in there with a serial killer. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. But it's more than just thought of a kid being molested.
It's creating unneeded risk. It's
exactly.
plain and simple. It's creating unneeded risk.
People that are actually molested are actually transgender. I would like to know that stat, because I look at it like most 9 times out of 10, I don't hear transgender molesting. I hear men and women. So if there's a huge risk at that, then we need to look at it. But at the same time, if that's the case, we're looking at risk. Most kids that are trafficked
bad joke about that.
Straight gender people.
Yeah, but you're looking at
what's worse than having hands in your pants.
Curtis,
having uncles in your pants.
Hold on. I do want to hear that joke. Did you hear it? I missed it.
All I hear is ants in my pants or hands in my pants. I don't know what he said.
He said uncles.
What's worse than having ants in your pants? Having uncles in your pants.
Oh yeah.
Well,
that was pretty good. But here's the deal, Curtis. What we're forgetting, and this is a lot of even when we're looking at election fraud and mail-in ballots, there's no evidence of certain things. There's not that many transgenders where those statistics will even be there. But logic says when you have somebody that could be a great person, but most transgenders do suffer from some kind of psychological trauma or abuse, and you put them in a situation where they could be putting somebody else at risk, logically, they're a higher risk. They're a higher percentage risk. We don't know these numbers because there are so few transgenders. But as you start loosening the laws, logic is going, why would we do that? Why would we do anything that logically doesn't make sense?
Where does that
Look, hold on, time out. Wait a minute. Let me just say something. Back in what was it, 1970s? In the 1970s, homosexuality was defined as a mental illness. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was in the dictionary. Homosexuality was defined as a mental illness, like schizophrenia or bipolar, whatever. That's how it was defined. They redefined it because so many more people were starting to come out as, homosexual or whatever. So they redefined it, just like they're redefining everything these days. Not that I'm saying that, people got a disorder if they're, one way or the other. I'm just trying to say that just because, like you're talking about, where's the stats behind that or who made it the way that it is like that? It's natural, bro. Like they're trying to say that when a baby's born, you're not supposed to call it a boy or a girl. When God made it by design for you to know which was which. You know that this is a female or a male, depending on their downstairs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you can't say that a baby that has, a extra umbilical cord ain't a boy just because he doesn't know yet. He doesn't know if he's a boy yet. No, he does know he's a boy because I'm telling him he's a boy because he's got a thing that makes it to where he can produce babies if he gets with a woman. You know what I'm saying? When he gets older, it's not that hard to really break down and understand. They're redefining things and saying that there's like 1,000 different genders. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't make sense. And I don't buy it. And they don't buy it either. They're just doing that to appease the mind of the people. And the reason I say that I don't buy it is because how come when a transgender, if Caitlyn Jenner or Bruce Jenner, whatever you want to call him, was to go to jail today, where would he go to jail? Where would he go to prison?
She would go to a female prison.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
Thank you.
So Curtis. You're telling me that they will put Bruce Jenner or Caitlyn Jenner in a female prison?
Yep.
Would they though? Because he has.
Have you seen Atlanta?
You know how many? Do you know how many people are in jail right now? You ain't gonna find no man in a woman's prison, bro.
Well, that's on the courts to decide that.
Yeah, but does he actually, or does Caitlyn Jenner still have? I think Caitlyn Jenner still has male genitalia.
Let's Google that.
I don't gotta Google that. I know the answer.
I know
the answer. They're not gonna put him in jail with men. With women.
Look, I guarantee there's a statute somewhere for a law that says that. What I'm getting back to what we were talking about, the bathrooms in other countries that don't have any bathroom separation, and men and women go in the same bathroom, which I have done that multiple times legally in another country. Then I look at it and I go, well, if it's not killing their people and their babies not getting raped, or the logic is just not like there in the country, are Americans that much worse or different that we can't control ourselves and go into a bathroom together because for some reason America can't do that, but Europe, a lot of countries in Europe can just easily use the bathroom.
It's environment and programming. Our country is every country is different. They raise their children differently. Also, a lot of those bathrooms are not. They're not multiple stall bathrooms. They're single bathrooms. There's a huge difference. And yes, the way our country is not open to sexuality, and we are not the same as France. We are not the same. Maybe closer to England. We're not the same as Italy. Sexually. It's very, very different. So you have to acknowledge that we're not any worse. We're just different. We've raised ourselves to be sexually prude in a lot of ways. And to answer the question, Caitlyn Jenner no longer has a penis. Just to be clear, so Caitlyn Jenner would be definitely put in a female prison. But
right. But would they? Okay, that's true. Let me rephrase. Would they put a female that takes hormone or testosterone and is a man now? Would they put that into a male prison because they can't get, a Johnson? They can't get one of those.
Yes, they can.
A fake one, not a real one.
So but again, this is the thing, right? If somebody says this is who they are, and you go to jail, the courts are going to say, okay, you're going to go where we say you go, right? And there's people fighting for that right now. I don't know the cases or whatever, but I look at it as this: as we're talking about the courts right now, the courts will decide where they go, and then you can't get mad if you just say you're a man, or if you say you're a woman, if you're not either or whatever, or you're gender binary. I just say it like this: the logic that we were saying,
that just irritates me.
The logic that we're saying, right? This is people's lives. They're choosing to live their life how they want to live it. right? I don't want to tell you you can't. I don't agree with it, but do I come and tell them that they can't live their life how they choose to live it if it's not hurting anybody else? I can't. I cannot say that, and I would be a hypocrite to say, well, I want to do it how I want to live my life with my choice. And then
live how you want. I don't got a problem with that. I don't got a problem with the way somebody lives.
Now, I say if your rights start infringing on my rights and others by you choosing to do what you want to do, then we'll have a conversation to figure out what we need to find a way to continue doing how you want to live your life without affecting everybody else's in a negative way.
That's all we're saying. But you can't tell me that if I was a woman, my rights wouldn't be infringed if I feel comfortable about a transgender male whipping their penis out in a woman's bathroom right next to me, or being in the bath. Like, that would make me feel uncomfortable. I think that, and I'm going to go with Melanie, who said this. I honestly, there's a lot that gender, sexual orientation has become fluid. I get that, and I totally understand gay marriage. I could not be more of a supporter. I don't care. I think it's great. I think it's phenomenal. And I think that people that are transgender, that are becoming more comfortable with, if they truly have gender dysphoria and all these things, and they're becoming the happier and better version of themselves, great. But as you said, Curtis, when their rights are now the outliers' rights are superseding those that have had the same rights, then it goes against the Constitution. That's why the Supreme Court is there, is to make sure things like that don't happen. Now, again, there is hate. It is a hate crime if you beat up somebody that is transgender. So yes, like, there is things in place to make sure that doesn't happen. But to go the other,
hate crime funny?
Go ahead and then Cash.
Like, hate crime, every crime against somebody else is like a hate crime. I find it funny that it's like, they have to put it in a box.
I agree.
You do it to a black person, a person of color, or a person of a religion or sexual orientation. Like, they're all hate. Like, I find it funny. But that being said, it sure does separate a lot of people who are doing it for a certain reason.
Agreed. Cash, go ahead.
Look. What I'm trying to say is it's dangerous, man, to keep on letting this become so fluid, because where does it stop? What if you have a community of people to say, well, we identify as dogs, and then they start wanting to have sex with dogs because it's their right, and they're not hurting anybody, and that's just how they feel since they were little. They were raised with dogs, and they just feel like a dog. Or people raised with horses.
That's whataboutism.
I'm just saying. What if that was the case? What if people were like, no,
that's
I identify. I've always felt like this, and I want to start making my body, like the guy that made himself look more like a snake and got all kind of plastic surgery. What if he says, yo, I bit somebody because I feel like I'm a snake. I was raised as a snake. It's the same exact concept. It's the same thing. You say, what aboutism? About 50 years ago, transgender was aboutism. You know what I'm saying? All of this was about is when people were having a conversation about gay rights, they were like, well, then we're going to have people start coming out and men wanting to dress like women and women wanting to dress. That was a conversation. And the same conversation I'm having with you right now is the same thing that could happen. You could start, they're going to try to make bestiality a legal thing. I guarantee you. Mark my words, the times keep rolling, how they're talking about pedophilia.
Actually, I think it's actually legal in a few states.
That's what I'm trying to say.
So was being a transgender. That used to be illegal as well.
No. I mean, like, I think bestiality is actually legal.
Okay. We have
a few states.
But Cash,
that's
I got something
pretty weird.
What state is it?
Did you hear him? He said that's a pretty weird. But that's what I'm trying to say. In other states, are like, well, transgender is like pretty weird, and you'll be like, oh no, that's different. That's different.
What if on January 6th, Donald Trump or January 5th wants to identify as still the president of the United States of America, no matter what?
Okay, so U.S. states where bestiality is still legal.
You sound like an SNL skit right now.
Texas, New Mexico, Kentucky, Nevada. Oh man, this
is where bestiality is legal. Sorry for muting you, Sean. I'm just doing that because of the delay. It interrupts going back.
Where it's legal, and I'm looking at multiple. It's District of Columbia, Kentucky, Nevada, New Mexico, Texas, Vermont, West Virginia, and Wyoming.
That's crazy, bro.
Those are some, those states.
Audra said, how do we get on this? We got way bigger problems. You know how we got on this? We let the one liberal on the show pick the topic. It went from Supreme Court to bestiality. That's where we spiraled to.
I'm just saying, it can go. That's how quick it can change up.
To
bro.
go back to the Supreme Court.
I'm not moving to Texas.
I got to mute Sean because the delay is killing me. I love you, though. Hold on. We'll have you talk one more time. Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and Sean, say your final words, and then we're going to wrap it up on a final topic with Cash and Curtis. Sean, take yourself out of here. What do you got to say, my friend?
He's muted.
No, he's not.
To go on to the Supreme Court, what was wrong about, or I think Supreme Court. That's pretty much it. And go ahead and discuss.
Well, we love you, Sean. Thank you for coming on. And once your cell phone plan starts back up again, or we have a laptop, we'll have you back on because I couldn't appreciate.
Did you not hear that?
No, we didn't. It's fine. We're good. We'll get you. Go ahead and type it in later. There you go. All right. We love you, Sean. Thank you for being on.
Take care, brother.
It. We'll see you soon. Later, brother.
From 2020.
Brush that beard.
Don't look bad, does it?
There is nothing more frustrating than bad internet, it's not Sean's fault. I've been on the same issue when I've been out on the farm and all that crap. So,
yo, you guys got to get some of this.
What is it?
Beard oil.
Day-Day's. This is Day-Day's beard oil.
Day. All right.
Yes.
Waves,
they got all kinds of different products, you guys. Matter of fact, I'm about to do a whole episode just about stuff.
Let me know. I'll jump on the episode because I just learned. I've been doing some for men, especially with our type of hair. You gotta start taking care of it better because baldness is not just
It's happening, bro. It's happening. You see, it's starting to thin. You probably think I'm crazy, but I feel like it's thinning.
No, you got good products, bro. Moisturizing is huge. Vitamin D and E is huge.
I'm gonna make a suggestion to save up for a hair transplant.
No, once it starts to go, I'm shaving it all off. I'm going straight up Michael Jordan, bro, and I'm gonna keep the beard.
Last Dance.
No, a man's beard is a woman's push-up bra.
That's a short-ass Michael Jordan. Shelly's in there.
I'm not even going to say it because I'm trying to be more Christian-like, so I'm not going to say the joke that I normally say in response to that about my height.
I love you. I love you for that. Love you for that. Don't drop down to Anthony's level.
No. Yes. I mean, he can because he talks about sagging so low. Anyways. Shelly, we were talking about you early in the episode. We want you to feel better. Everybody's praying for you, my friend. So feel better. Last topic, kind of what we started talking about in the very beginning, and then we'll wrap it up with that, Cash, with you here. I mean, I can't get any real information. We've got Supreme Court has knocked down the cases in Pennsylvania, supposedly. That's what all the media is covering.
Not true.
Then what did they? Well, I heard they also took the cases in Texas. I can't.
They didn't take it yet. They're reviewing it. That's what I just.
Yes, they're reviewing the cases right now.
They're reviewing it to see if they can take it or not.
Because remember, you have a whole. When they say that there's been 39 or 41 cases already dismissed, right? They're not talking about Trump. Trump's team only filed three cases. On the other side, where you look at Sidney Powell, she's got a whole bunch of them, and other people that are filing their own cases outside of Trump's team. Trump's team hasn't been denied any, not one. All right, so keep that in mind. Keep it in mind.
Texas and 8 other states joined. So again, we're still learning things, but like if you were just the everyday Joe today, which I think is ironic because here's the irony in it. Is CNN had a headline that said they've by the Supreme Court shutting down Pennsylvania's case, it lands a deadly blow to the Trump whatever. If CNN's being honest, they've said that it's been over forever. So how is that even a deadly blow to this point? Like according to them, it's been over for 4 weeks.
Exactly.
So that's very ironic that they're saying that, and at the same time, they're not covering the fact that Texas is bringing this up. I can't get any real information that I can share because Epoch Times and some other places I can't share stuff. Curtis, go ahead.
I will say this: today is a very special day. Today is the safe harbor day, and if all the states have certified their elections by today, it is almost, and this is what looking at the actual law, that there's a safe harbor date that is inscribed in federal law that requires states to resolve all election-related disputes before the electoral college meets in order for the results to be considered conclusive. And this day falls 6 days before the actual election. The electors actually meet for the electoral college, and the deadline for states to certify their election results essentially insulates states from legal challenges down the road when Congress counts electoral votes in early January and members of the House and Senate are able to contest a slate of electors. Those electors certified by the safe harbor date are considered binding, making them extremely difficult to dispute in the courts. So
extremely difficult, but
that's something that people need to realize, that there's a lot of things going on. But I have never heard that until I just looked it up, and it just came up.
I have been heard it. I've been talking about it. This is exactly what I've been saying the game plan was. So here's the thing. You already know that all of these states are not going to be certified.
Well, they already have, Cash. They certified them already.
No.
Yes,
they have not certified every state.
Not all of them, but the states that are in contest, they have.
Yes. Some states have, but if not all of them have to be certified in order for it for him to become the president-elect. All right. And when it goes to December 14th and they don't have a decision made, if these votes are certified or decertified, then it's going to run. We're going to keep running. And then it's going to come down to the House. And that's what we're hoping for. That's the whole hope of everybody. Unless of course the Supreme Court steps in. If the Supreme Court steps in and then they say, look, we're not counting those, or this is how many votes we're going to count, or however it's going to work out, that even works because it takes away votes that are certified or not certified, and they give it back to Trump if he had the margin to win. When they take away the votes that were fraudulent or invalid.
But this is the thing. They can only attest the states that did not certify by December 8th. Not all of them. Only the states that did not certify, because it is individualized by the Constitution. And the law actually came in the Electoral Count Act of 1887, determined if a state certified its election results by 6 days before the Electoral College meets, then it would qualify for safe harbor, and Congress must consider its results conclusive. Every state except Wisconsin appears to have met the deadline, as there is a hearing, as there is a hearing and a lawsuit on the state's election results later this week. So that's where I look at the only state, and this is older. This is today. So they have until today. So if they don't meet it by today, the only state that they can go after legally without some change in the Constitution is Wisconsin, because if they do not certify by the end of the day.
This is the thing, my brother, that you're not understanding. This is what I'm trying to get you to grasp, okay? Say they certify it, right? Say they certify every state, and then these cases still go to the Supreme Court proving fraud, proving that there was fraud. Doesn't matter if they were certified or not. The Supreme Court's going to say this was fraudulent, this was illegal. So then court cases, people are going to go to jail then if that happens. People are going to go to jail because they stole an election. They did fraud.
But it has to get to that point, and it has to be
but it's looking like it's going there. Is my point?
Be a smoking gun, and if it is, it is. If it's not, then it's going to be certified, and they're going to pass it.
So correct. You are very correct. We are down to the final option for the Trump campaign, which is now the U.S. Supreme Court through Texas. So this is what I've read. However, again, I can't get it corroborated on a single CNN, Fox, etc. I've seen it on multiple right-wing sides. So this is what I'm alleging is what's going on. The U.S. Supreme Court will hear Texas' lawsuit against Pennsylvania, Georgia, Michigan, and Wisconsin over potential voter fraud. The case was added to the Supreme Court docket today. They've got a screenshot of the Supreme Court docket. So it appears as though it has been added. With that said, in the last hour to 2 hours, it is now showing that on top of Texas' lawsuit against Pennsylvania, Georgia, Michigan, and Wisconsin, the 8 other states have joined in the lawsuit. So it is an unconventional lawsuit. The other 8 states are Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, South Carolina, and South Dakota. So if anybody's asking, do things look bleak for the Trump campaign? Yes, because this is the final option. If this is thrown out, there is no other legal recourse. We understand that. But this unusual lawsuit now, according to only the sites that I'm seeing it and nothing on mainstream media, are showing that there is one other path. I'm just saying. That's all I've got. And this is what we were waiting for.
There is one more. Martial law.
So you want them to use the military to tell everybody what to do and then say they won?
No,
I can't get
no.
that.
Essentially, I can't
Military to take control of the election, to take control of the votes, to look at the votes with unbiased.
Well,
You know
then
what
you
I'm
take
saying?
away the
Dominion
power.
machine, every Dominion machine looked at.
You take
To look
away
at all the paperwork, everything that was done, every piece of video. Every piece of video. And what blows my mind too, y'all. Hold on, but real quick, what blows my mind is you say we need a smoking gun. There was a video of them pulling ballots out from underneath tables that were there the whole time.
Agreed.
And they didn't pull them out until everybody left, and then they start running them. That's not a smoking gun.
I agree. And that woman has that woman is her mother.
Did they say they were for Trump? I don't know.
The exact. So the way the timing matches on that, to give the information of everything that I've researched, is it was put there at 8 a.m. in the morning by a certain woman. It was put there by a woman that, ironically enough, is also the mother of the woman that actually pulled the suitcases out. So the election official was the daughter of this woman. So anyways, so they, whatever it is, and then at the time that everybody was asked to leave due to the water main break, a little bit even after that in the evening, they were brought out and counted with no other viewers on it, no actual election process, the typical election process. And that was the timing where the spike in numbers for Joe Biden happened, where it was, 90,000 to 1,500 in that area.
And then on top of it all, they kicked out Republican watchers, conservative watchers, brothers. There's too much of smoking guns.
They didn't.
This was funny. This was weird.
In Georgia, they didn't kick out the Republican watchers. They told everybody they had to leave because there was a water main break. That turns out it was a toilet leak.
Yeah.
And then they started counting regardless. So to me, it's shocking that they're getting away with it not being mass fraud.
They did do a
the way that they moved around, Curtis, was just funny, bro. Well, why wait until everybody left for you to go and hurry up and go underneath and pull out 5 suitcases, which 5 suitcases can hold about 10,000 votes. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 100,000.
Do we have evidence of that? How many votes it can hold?
Bro, just look at the margin of which you lost. Look how many votes came in after that.
Kesh, I'm not. All I'm saying is I like to go by straight facts. If I know exactly how many, none
of us are getting the facts. We're just getting some shit that looks sketchy.
What I'm saying is I'm being patient. I'm not jumping to conclusions because I'm sitting back and I go, how many ballots can actually fit in this case? How many ballots work in that case? And you said 10,000, then there was 90,000 votes. Or I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, we need to know how many. They did a hand recount. Georgia did a hand recount.
And but it doesn't matter, Curtis.
Curtis.
Hold on, Curtis. A hand recount doesn't mean anything.
Hold on. Georgia also has 250 cases that they were looking at on their own without the president, and they brought in a GBI to actually do forensic and look at it. Now, I don't know where they are with those cases.
Exactly.
But the Georgia was doing it on its own. So, of course, is there going to be irregularities in every single election? Yes. Do we go? And somebody was asking me, do we go back to Trump's and invalidate that because it was a much closer margin? And if we're looking at these, it could potentially have gone the other way. And I was like,
invalidated
no, go back and invalidate anything.
Is there Curtis? Is there footage of anything from the Trump?
I don't know.
You're literally you're give me a second. You are legitimately this is mind-boggling that this is the logic that you're using, Curtis. Because here's the deal: there is no footage from Trump's election. If there was, I'm sure they should. And you know what? Maybe they didn't, but they should have friggin' looked for it. But if there was 4 cases coming from underneath the table in which there was an irregularity and a spike in number where we went to bed one way and we woke up a different way, I'm going to bet your ass that most Democrats would be freaking the fuck out right now to the point of going, oh my God, we have to review it. So whether it was screwed up in the past or not, no, we don't go back. We go back to as far as we can, which we are still in the current election process now. So no matter how many, even to me, it also is like, all right, say that you could put through 10,000 votes in that amount of time, which they're saying it's 100,000, but say it was 10,000 and Trump lost by whatever, 50 in the state. I don't give a shit because there is 10,000 illegitimate votes being pushed through on fraud. There is a bigger conspiracy here that would need to get addressed. So I don't care if it's enough to cover the margin of victory. If it's more than an outlier of 2 or 3 votes or 10 votes or 15 votes, you've got 8,000 of a guy in California with 2 dump trucks. You've got testimony from people saying they were told to do certain things, 1, 2, 3, 10, 15, 20 here. And you've got thousands of votes underneath the desk in Georgia. These are the things we see and we found, and we've got a fake water main break. It is enough, no matter if it's enough to supersede the results going on. It is enough to say, fuck this election. Let's get down to business and figure out what the hell happened, because there has to be some shit missed. Because if we caught all this, there's some shit that's fucked up, period.
Can I just say
this is what I'm saying. I never said there wasn't, but at the same time, you have to do it in the most law way you can and go like they're doing. And I said they also opened up their own, which in that hand recount, they found 5,000 votes that weren't counted in my own county in Georgia. So my vote might have not been counted because there's probably only like 15,000 people in that county. So what I'm saying is, if Georgia is going out and then says they found these 5,000 and says there was a problem, I'm looking at it as they're trying to do their due diligence of figuring it all out. So I'm not going to jump to a conclusion and go, well, y'all, everything just, I'm like, no, keep looking, keep searching.
You have to question
find me more evidence, but I'm not going to sit there and start making assumptions of, well, I see these cases and I'm going to automatically assume these cases went all to Biden or these are not. I don't sit there and assume that.
The next day, it showed that. That's the reflection of it. There's no way around it. You can say about the hand count. Bro, hold on. Listen.
Cash, go ahead.
If you got, if you got a shitload of money, right? Say you got a bunch of money, and then somebody threw some counterfeit money in there and took the real money, threw some counterfeit bills in there, and you're like, they're like, oh, the count's right though, everything's good, and you're like, oh, hold on, I'm gonna do a recount, and you recount it, but you don't mark the bills to find out if they fake or they real. You still short however much fake money they threw in there.
Well,
you'll be pissed off.
System of checking the real bills and fake bills, so they would have taken it out already.
Yeah, they should, but they don't. In Georgia, for example, is a state where they, on the mail-in ballots, they actually tear away the evidence. It is literally just a slip that is kept. So all you have is the vote. So for the recount, all you have is the piece of paper. You don't have the name. You don't have the signature. It can be, at this point, there is no even way to trace it. So ultimately, if you can't make up the 50,000 votes, the 60, 70, it doesn't fucking matter, because it's so fucked up across the board that I don't think Georgia should be able to certify, period. I think those electoral college votes are gone. To me, they're gone. Gone. There's no reason for them to even be there at this point. You can't, if you can't prove anything when we already know there is way too much in question, the whole state should be gone.
Also, man, the dead people votes. 30,000 people in one fucking state. 30,000 dead people. 30,000.
How many dead people have voted in the past?
Who
not 30,000 in one state?
I'm not. This is not to say that it's validated. I'm just saying, as we continue to keep finding it out, I'm saying, look, we know this has been happening. They're catching it. So all I'm saying is,
now we finally caught it. Now Donald Trump is finally standing up for the Constitution, and Republicans and conservatives are standing up for the Constitution and the sanctity of our electoral system. So kudos. So sucks that we missed it in the past, that there's that many dead people voting. But ultimately, it's also the programming that's going on to not. There's people that have no idea about these weird anomalies, and these people are looking at like Matthew McConaughey, which is another failure on the part of the media. Is the fact that Matthew McConaughey's full interview is very interesting. He talked about the hypocrisy on the left, and he goes, the same people that were telling people that the world was ending and it's all bullshit when Trump won, those same people are the ones now going accept it. And he goes, I cannot believe the hypocrisy. That's what Fox News shows. Now, if you look at the second part of the interview, he talks about the fact that you can't, unfortunately for these Trump supporters, they've been fed fake news this whole time and they don't understand. That's what CNN shows. So you've literally got an interview where he's actually both-sided. He doesn't believe in the right media, and at the same time, he also sees the hypocrisy. and the side only plays one of each instead of both. And it's mind-boggling because right now we're providing information that isn't fake news. You can't say that video footage of something, because it comes out and it's on the right, it's not fake. It is actual truth.
You can't, but again, unless we see the exact vote come through and we know exactly what those votes were in that case, you don't know. And that's just coming from, I'm just coming from.
But who gives a shit if there's a case?
I'm coming from the lawyer point of view.
So I'll come at you with I'm going to come at you with the state constitution point of view. If things are not done correctly, where there is a spotter and a person seeing any vote go through, all those votes are invalid, which means if they can't track those votes, then the whole friggin'
Which state constitution? Because every state has a different constitution.
I believe every state's constitution states that there has to be watchers when votes are being counted. I think that is universal across the board. Cash.
Thank you, Nikki. Vote. Breaking news: SCOTUS has voted 6-3 to hear the Texas lawsuit.
It's not over yet.
Boom, baby.
Not over yet. Speaking of Supreme Court, I wanted to cover one issue that we didn't before with when Sean was leaving. Is he brought up? I like that the liberal point of view is calling it expanding the Supreme Court. I call it packing the Supreme Court. Yes. What's your opinion on that, Curtis?
My opinion on what? Packing the court?
Yeah.
Well, if you look at expanding it, I mean, I don't really know why we would. 9, I think, is good. But at the same time, I was talking to a professor. He is, Curtis, we haven't changed in America a lot of things based on a constitution that was built back then. I said, well, if it's still working, why do we need to change some things? So I just sit back and I'm like, I don't really see a reason to expand it to be in your favor. But if things come up and it's in your favor to put your judges in there, like you said earlier, Anthony, it's legal. Is it right? No, it's legal. Just like it's legal for them to play Chappelle's show, but is it right? No. But that's how I look at it. Like we have people that go, oh, Curtis, but it's right. This is the right thing to do. And then we go, well, it's legal. And then I go, well, what's the point in saying it was right if you're going to come back and say it's legal? And if for me,
I get it.
I just look at it and I go, if I'm going to say I'm going to do this because it's right, not because it's legal, I'm going to stick to doing it because it's right, not because it's legal.
I get it, and I'm going to
actually because for me, if being a Christian became illegal, but even though I see it as being right, I'm not going to be like, well, it's legal. I'm just going to do that. So that's
I get it. So here's my thought process on it, because I do stand by whatever is allowed by the courts. Here's my issue. In terms of expanding the court, if it's full blue and they want to do that, and my issue is I don't think that they won fair and square. But say they did, say that it's fully blue, they have the right to do that. And yeah, you said, is it right or is it wrong? They have the right. So I say it's fine. Now, here's my issue is the fact that if it does happen, Biden was the American public didn't give a crap enough because again, it's wrong. I don't want it to happen, but it is legal. He was not being forthcoming enough. It was being obvious that he was saying he would pack the Supreme Courts, but it was not properly covered. They were like, he left it out. He omitted. No, by omission, he was saying he would pack the courts, which could potentially happen. I wish that would have been more honest up front so people could have voted on that issue and also inform people what that means. But it's too late for that now. And based on the rule of the Constitution, the government, they're allowed to do what they want if they end up trying to pass it. So and
again, I guess when I sit back and I go, as much as I want to be mad at certain things, I'm gonna go vote. Hopefully it counts. And if it doesn't, we're gonna hopefully find out. We have a great law system that we can figure it out. There's a lot of loopholes and different things you can find out. But if it does go through or doesn't, for me, I look at it, I'm like, okay, well, we'll have to figure it out. And in another 2 years, you got another vote to change the entire Senate or the House. And you just got to look at it like that, because that's how I looked at it the last, 12 years I've been voting? More than that. I'm 33, 15 years. And there's been 3 changes in those 15 years from Republican, Democrat, Republican, and maybe Democrat, Republican, we don't know.
So we have a 6-3 split currently on the between conservative and conservative and liberal on the Supreme Court. So that was how it was. I guess it was voted technically on party lines on the Supreme Court. Is that what I'm seeing or reading? Is that correct?
I don't know. I haven't looked at it, but that's funny because if that is, then Democrats are going to say that's exactly why they did that, and you didn't put the other one through. And I was like, I don't know.
I want to know why this isn't a alert on my phone. Why? I mean, I don't.
Because
so even if I go to go ahead,
they don't want people to have no hope. That's
if I go to Fox right now, the number one story on the top of Fox News, which is supposed to be our only mainstream conservative outlet, all it is request denied. Supreme Court rejects Trump allies bid to toss Pennsylvania mail ballots. So that's all that's up. So it's mind-boggling. Just they can't even talk about. I mean, it goes to what Project Veritas talked about with CNN, where they just completely ignored.
Where does it say it at? Oh, here we go.
Where are you finding it? Because I can't even find it on any mainstream media outlet.
I found it anywhere. I think it's just saying literally it's a 6-3 split, but they didn't say there was a vote for it. So I don't know if that information
Look on Twitter, bro. You find everything on Twitter first.
Well, I don't use Twitter. Sorry.
Supreme Court votes to hear presidential. I don't know. I don't even know how to look it up. Does anybody have a link that you can put in? Because
put the link in because I am not getting nothing.
I can't even get anything. So I mean,
they wouldn't be in session right now to vote. No offense.
Oh, incorrect. Supreme Court works almost 24 hours. They can actually call themselves to session. They are
in session right now.
TW Pundit is the source. What is TW Pundit? So I can't. I don't want to confirm that until I've seen it on something. That is. I know it sounds terrible, but to be mainstream, something has to be up. Pundit review.
TW Pundit is the source.
Yeah, but that's not enough source for me to run on. I don't know how to double check this. C-SPAN maybe.
There's got to be a SCOTUS Tech Twitter. And they usually say everything they do. SCOTUS Twitter or Facebook, something.
Yo, just so you guys know, I'll be on Newsmax on Friday.
Oh, for real?
Nice.
What's great about Newsmax, they don't get enough coverage, but Newsmax, although right-wing, is very rarely wrong. They're usually
talking about the censorship of black conservatives.
Nice.
When
are they going to find a black?
Especially black conservatives.
Are you going to be the white person on the show or the black person on the show?
I'm going to be the American half.
You're mixed. So what about the mixed conservatives?
No, just the American black conservatives.
I want to take away from your mom's side. You know what I'm saying? That's what they did.
No, it's okay. Take it all away.
Well, as of right now, I can't find anything but except
I can't find it anywhere. So I have to see it on at least the Newsmax or something to see it, because if Newsmax puts it out there and it's wrong, they'll get shut down. So that's,
all these other news agencies ain't got shut down.
No, I say they will. They will, because they're not as big as a Fox News or a CNN.
Oh, they are. They actually beat Fox and CNN and MSNBC, all of them, for #1 ratings for like what, a week straight?
Right after the election.
I'm saying big as in money. And
that's not good. Money and everything, brother, and we're showing people that.
I know, but I'm just saying, if they come out with it wrong, and it's like blatant wrong, then it'll go down.
Yeah, even Newsmax is not.
Probably like 5:45 is when they're going to interview me. I don't know.
When?
Go ahead and talk about it. We'll share it on here when you're going on. All right, so I think we're going to wrap it up. Before we do, let's say what's going on. We talked a little bit about Supreme Court. Sean is actually backstage watching, eating potato chips or chips and dip. I don't know. It looks delicious. Okay, good.
We're going to have a late show tonight, you guys, for Breaking the Barriers, just so you know.
By late, we are going to start it soon because I want to do it while I'm here. So, what do you think? About a half hour?
Half hour after we're done here, we're going to go right into Breaking the Barriers.
Perfect. All right. So, reminder, guys, tomorrow night, Conservengers episode number 2. We got Suni, we got Corey, we got Cash, we got Blake, we got me. And if you guys watched that last episode, we have a lot of fun on that one. We might have even gotten a little too racy. But the key is, if you want to watch Conservengers, you must follow the Be The Change YouTube page. If you haven't already, just make sure you're a subscriber on that page. We'll set the time for tomorrow night. It should be 8-ish, but it'll be up on our Be The Change page to show you where to go. But if you want to watch it, the only place is youtube.com/C/BeTheChange Make sure you are following that page if you want to watch that show.
Yo, you got to call me by my Consevenger name, bro, or my code name. You cannot be calling me Cash.
What did you want to be called again?
It's Captain America.
Captain America. Sorry, Black Widow.
No. Captain America. Captain America.
It's Captain America. Captain America.
That's what my name is for Consevengers.
I'm Tony.
Because you know they made Captain America black now, y'all.
Yeah, I saw that.
We know this. This is true.
It was like perfect. It was like God knew what he was doing, you know?
And
like Cash, Captain America.
Yo, get this though. I just looked at, there's a blog called SCOTUS blog. It said that they gave the courts until Thursday at 3 p.m. to respond to the case. The SCOTUS blog is done by law professors, lawyers, and law students of the Supreme Court of the United States, related to SCOTUS. So I'm just trying to see if that's even closer. And they've been updating at 6:20 p.m. There was no update on a ruling, and I don't think they're actually in session right now, because if you turn to C-SPAN, I don't see that, which a lot of times if something was going on at this time, C-SPAN ain't got nothing else to show, they would most likely show it. But that's just me saying that right now. It could be wrong. So
somebody sent me the docket from yesterday. I get that, but that's not showing that it passed.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it. It's December 8th, and this is to motion. Yeah, so it's still there is no 6-3 vote.
There's a 6-3 split with the people down party lines.
Right. So
have not voted on that. And
but that doesn't mean they're going to vote on party lines, because why? They're the Supreme Court justices. They vote on the Constitution.
So that's why you have to look in deep further before you go. And again, if I'm wrong currently and I don't know where it's a 6-3 split, I'm wrong. But I'm just saying, make sure you back up your as much as you can. I know they don't always report everything, but they have to report something that at least can be kind of true. And if it's out there like that, everybody's going to report that, because it's the Supreme Court. And if you're not the first to report it,
hold on,
news.
Not true.
Supreme Court's Twitter.
There we go. What they say.
Supreme Court will take up the Texas election challenge.
There we go.
There you go. Orale Holmes.
So 13 minutes ago, I don't know if it was a 6-3 vote. I don't know what it was. But 11 hours ago, Attorney General Ken Paxton says he's suing Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin directly in the U.S. Supreme Court. And then as of 13 minutes ago, SCOTUS, the Supreme Court will take up the hashtag Texas election challenge.
There we go.
So I don't know how TW Pundit finds that shit.
All these different news sources coming out, man. I'm trying to tell you, they're unbiased. They ain't got no motive behind it except to get the truth. True journalism, what it should be, straight up. And no, Latins are not Latinx. They are just Latin. I don't know where they came up with Latinx, but I don't like it. I know I ain't got.
Where did that come from, dog? Where
did that way?
Okay? Hilarious. I'm sorry. We're talking about that. I was like, and no.
Yes.
I'm not Latin, so you call yourself what you want.
God damn it!
I'm a Black Tino, technically.
Oh, what?
Technical. I'm Black Tino.
Oh, you know what? Hold on a second. That is not a checked mark SCOTUS. This is driving me fucking nuts.
That's what I said. I can't find the security. I don't see that on SCOTUS.
It'll be out tomorrow, I'm sure.
How does SCOTUS not have an at? At SCOTUS has not got a check mark.
No, you have to read it. It says the Supreme Court of the United States. We are a private group tweeting news and information related to the Supreme Court.
God bless it. We got a SCOTUS reporter. We got anything? No.
I'm looking.
Okay, just wait till tomorrow. Got him out that way.
I'm calm. I just want to make sure, I don't want to tell that person to check more if they're actually right.
Curtis was the most correct when he said the SCOTUS reporter, SCOTUS blog, will have an answer about the Texas complaint by 3 p.m. Thursday. So for everybody that logged off already, I know, Charlene, leave me alone. We're imperfect today. This was my monologue on the show. It is impossible to get any real effing news anymore. It's impossible.
And that's what I said. Just be patient. And again, I like that we're doing this live so people can see how hard it is to make sure you're getting the facts. And they won't do this on the news for real because it's too much of like, ooh, I don't know. Ooh, maybe. We want to act like we know. So
but they can know because they have access to everything that they want, but they choose to omit information so that we are left in the dark with truth and false and fake.
That's why I'm praising what we're doing right now, Anthony. So now I just gotta go I gotta get in DC. You know, I gotta put on my swamp suit, jump in the
wait
swamp.
till tomorrow. I'm telling you, it'll be out all over the place. Mark my words.
You say what?
Just wait till tomorrow. We'll know something by tomorrow for sure.
It's frustrating. All right, let's hope that. I don't know. I miss Walter Cronkite, and I'm not even old enough for that shit. This is mind-boggling. Anyways, make sure you watch Concert Vengers tomorrow on youtube.com/BeTheChange USA. Let's see what we got. Anything else? Changemakers tomorrow night. We've got a cool show on that one. That'll be on Be The Change as well as as well as our YouTube. It'll be on both Facebook and YouTube. We've got Mingji Zai. She is awesome. She's got these really cool things that she talks about. I've been on her podcast. I know a lot of you guys probably saw that. She's got the love story, and it talks about creating essentially art with your story and your mission, and she's spreading those kind of stories to create positivity. You're going to enjoy that one if you tune in to watch. What else we got? We've got, of course, this Saturday, the Freedom Rally. Cash will be speaking at. We'll be getting videos from him. We'll probably go live with him at one point to see what's going on. Oh, yeah.
I see Sean actually looking pretty good in the back.
I know. He seems smooth.
Crazy. What's up, Sean? Oh, wow.
He's not the best color man in the business for nothing, Monty.
He didn't get the sign off.
Y'all just cut him off.
He didn't get the sign off.
It's not color, man. I just, I have 3-second delay. I have to make sure to figure out how to interject here.
You're good now.
Oh, sounds great.
Here's your moment to shine. You gotta sign off for everybody.
We didn't hear your last sign off.
I would just like to say that I enjoyed the opportunity to talk to you guys. That's exactly the point of Be The Change, is to actually have a discourse with people. So thank you very much for your time here, gentlemen.
No problem, brother.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Sean. All right, Curtis, final words?
Just want to say be patient. Love thy neighbor. I know they might not always agree with them, and they might make you mad. But do your best to try to just continue to push love out and get some rest. People ain't sleeping. Get some rest. Find a way to take a break. Because life is gonna happen. If they approve it, if they don't, you still got to go on with your life. And to be honest, you still have more power over your life than what you're led to believe. So don't believe that you don't have power over your own life, because you still have the power of choice for a number of things. And the biggest choice is how you're going to react and live your life. So use that choice. And I say Be The Change. Also, I want to say thank you that I did see people donate, Deirdre and some others, for our Giving Tuesday. That was awesome. We raised over $1,000. Half of that is going to a family that is fighting brain cancer. So if you still want to donate, it is up still. You can still go to regularhero.org and donate direct. But just thanking everybody who donated. We are going to do 1 to 2 more hospital feedings. And it sounds kind of crazy, but not, feeding the essential workers who are actually right now at capacity. So if you don't have to have a big party, still enjoy your life, but be understanding that if you do get sick and you have to go to the hospital, even if you're not trying to get it, people still have to take care of you. So I want to do my best to try to help them as much as we can, because it's kind of rude to just say, you got to take care of me because you're a doctor. You picked that they still have feelings. They have a life. And, we do know a person who was a doctor who died from COVID, who was a friend. So we just want to make sure everybody is thinking past yourself, because we can't get past this. We will get past this. We are Americans. If other people can do it, we can do it. And we'll do it together. And that's the only way we can if we do it together. Love it.
Cash, what do you got?
Love you guys. Can't wait to do this Breaking the Barriers here in 30 minutes. So at 9:15, we're going to be on doing Breaking the Barriers. Appreciate everybody to tune in for us today. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to Be The Change YouTube page, and then share it out, because we are almost at 1,000 subscribers and we ain't going to get there without your guys' help. So please do that for us. It goes a long way. You have no idea. And also thank you for everybody that always supports us and everything that we do. Unite, don't fight. Be a street light. It's only you can be the change that you want to see in the world. And when you get too stressed out, you got to remember to pray, because without God, it all falls apart.
Woo! But we're not over.
Yeah, brother.
So I just got a message from Bobby.
Oh, wait. Sorry. I gotta say it the right way, because right now I'm Black Tino.
Yeah.
Okay. Simón, hermano. No.
Yeah, no.
Simón, carnal. There we go. That's better. Because you're a thug.
Yes. Yes, I am. So I just got word. Bobby Sauce will be back tomorrow as well.
Hey,
Feeling under the weather. We gotta we don't necessarily need to clean it up, but I feel like we need to have a little bit more substance on Conservengers and a little bit more zingers. But I'm not gonna lie, I had a blast last week, but some of us might make a run for office at one point, and some of that stuff might have been a little bit too far. So we'll see if we can clean it up.
Give a damn, because people want down to earth Americans. They're sick of people being uptight and fake. We got to be real.
I like Bobby as the straight man, though, like the guy that's like, okay, let's, because he's brilliantly hilarious. So like him as the guy talking facts, I think is great. So he'll be on tomorrow night as well. So again, if you want to watch, make sure you are subscribed, hit the bell for the YouTube page, youtube.com/C/BeTheChange USA, episode 2, Conservengers, Sunni, Corey, Cash, me. What?
Captain America. Captain America.
Sorry, Captain America.
Thank you. Get it right, bro.
God dang, I'm so bad at that. All right, ladies and gents.
In Texas, y'all got bestiality still. Let's go.
Okay. Okay. All right, thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you on Breaking the Barriers on Cash's channel. Thank you, Sean, for coming on. We appreciate you. And if you want to support Be the Change USA, we can take as much help as we can get at patreon.com/BeTheChange USA. And you know what? Whatever you do in your daily life, have those good conversations, have those hard conversations, but always be kind, be in love, and show that you all love each other. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Do this.
Fact.
Do it again. Do it again.
Facts.
Facts.